So now it's time to begin with the first panel session for the day. And the first topic for this panel discussion would be CHRO and AI transformation playing a role, making an impact. For this panel session, Gunjan Jain, CHRO from Jindal Strategic Ventures. Ms. Gunjan, can you please come on stage? A big round of applause, guys. She'll be leading, moderating this panel session. Welcome to you, ma'am. Now it's time to call the first panelist, Mr. Kulvinder Sarao, CHEO and President from Human Engagement, Panacea Biotec. Good morning, sir. Mr. Mussarat Hussain, Head HR, Suzuki R&D Center, India. Ms. Monica Muttagal, CHRO Health Card. Welcome to her. Vikas K. Khoka, CHRO Sharda Motor Industries. Now he is on the way actually, so he'll be joining in next 10 to 15 minutes. Mr. Sachin Kashta, CHRO DCM Sri Ram Sugar. Welcome, sir. Mr. Rajesh Tara, VPHR Usha International. And now, last but not the least, Mr. Abhishek Shah, the founder from Testify. Can we hear a big round of applause, guys, for our moderator and the panelists? And now, I would like to repeat, the topic of this panel discussion is CHRO and AI transformation, playing a role, making an impact. And now, over to my moderator and panelist. Take over, ma'am.
Good morning, everyone. So I was expecting a huge energy in this room, but that's not good. You know what? My father has always called me a stubborn, because if I don't hear an energetic voice with good morning, I don't feel good. So let me try again. Good morning, everyone. Much better. Thank you so much. Energy should flow from one corner to another, from one person to another. That's how we are here to spread this energy, create the momentum of learning, and the learning is two-way. What we will be talking here, discussing, we would definitely hear out from you as to what does it make sense to you or not. Okay. So, by the way, I'm Gunjan Jain, CHRO at Jindal Strategic Ventures. It's a pleasure to be moderating this conversation today. We are here to talk about CHRO's role, AI transformation, and many more interesting topics. I know there's a little bit of pressure on these legends sitting with here today. But before that, I would like to share with you a very short story. I hope everyone likes stories. Isn't it? That's good. And I like this. I hear a very loud voice from this gentleman. Thank you so much. And this story is all about around lobsters. So let me ask you a very direct question. Have you ever wondered what a lobster does when it outgrows its shell? Hands up, please. That's all. No hand. Is it something weird? So that prompts me to ask you another question, that how many of you are thinking, why on this earth is the moderator talking about lobster in CHRO panel? Is it weird, rubbish? That's fine, just stay with me. Because this is actually a story of growth, vulnerability, and transformation. So, like, I did not see any hands up, which means I think it's something which is new for everyone. So stay tuned. Let me give you a clue. A lobster cannot stretch its shell. It cannot redesign its shell. And certainly, a lobster cannot continue growing inside this shell. So what does it do? It takes a risk. It sheds its shell. And here is the interesting part. A lobster without its shell sometimes is extremely exposed to the vulnerability. It has to find out his safe place, protect itself, and allow a new shell to grow. So, lobster is actually doing this every time when it grows. So, it doesn't just once. Every time lobster grows, then it has to be exposed to the vulnerability in the open atmosphere, and it has to find out how to get out of this vulnerability and continue growing. So it has two choices. Either stop, either protect itself and stop growing. Or any guesses? Any guesses from your side? I mean, just relate with it. It's important for everybody to understand it. Or the lobster will find out the way and start growing, because every time it has to grow, allow his shell to grow. So this is one of the most important parallel for organizations today, because organizations have shells too. Our processes, our hierarchies, our structures, and sometimes even our own assumptions that what work should look like. So AI is something which is not about technology. It is all about finding out how we are going to find out our own spaces, our safe place, whether we are willing to do something different. So I think technology is changing ever than anything else, and we all are aware of this. It's up to us how we adapt, grow, and continue shaping ourselves in the AI era. And that reminds me, one, I'm not going to take too long because my esteemed panelists are waiting, and I can't wait to hear them. So in the morning, when I was coming to this venue, I booked a cab, and I asked driver that how long it will take. What's the ETA? Then he said, okay, it is 8:47. I said, my phone is showing 8:47, and his phone was showing 8:47. I said, why is there a gap? He said, madam, you are using Apple phone, and I'm using Android. I said, what does it make difference? The time should be same, because we started the same time. Then he said, no, in Apple phone, it doesn't show the traffic time. It doesn't show the roadblocks. But my Android shows that. That's his own assumption. That's his way, because he's more comfortable with it with Android, not with Apple. So I think that prompts me to the question to my panelist, that as AI reshapes the future of work, how must the CHRO's role and leadership capabilities evolve? Not just to define the organization's AI transformation vision, but also to navigate the people, culture, and adaptation challenges that come with embedding AI at scale. So let me begin with Sachin.
Good morning, everyone. Am I audible to you? So thank you, Gunjan, for wonderful context. And I won't take much of a time, but The intent of mine is to give you a perspective which is more important and relevant from today's context. Now, when you take a back seat and think about what exactly has happened 5 years back, and if I talk about today, there has been a huge change in terms of how do we work and operate. And from that context, role of a CHRO as an enterprise leaders has also evolved. I'll give you a very simple perspective if I talk about today what exactly is expected from a CHRO. And the first job is to at least anticipate the future. That's the most important part and create the capability for the future ready organization. This is one. Second aspect is more around, in fact, workforce transformation, which is the most critical aspect, because the way things are shaping up for all of us, it is very, very essential for the leaders. It could be a business leader, it could be an HR leader to transform the entire workforce. Third, which has been the talk of the town for the last many, many years, talk about AI, talk about digital, talk about automation. Do we have, and the HR leader has to play a very, very important role to create a journey for next 5 years. I'm talking about a digital strategy and ensure the person till the last person on the ground has a wide adoption, because end of the day, it's a disruptive change for all of us. And the fourth part, considering all these changes happening, we also have to ensure our culture, our value, our trust is also intact. So let me go back again to this AI piece, and I talk about AI not only from an HR lens. This is something for the entire organization. Now, the way things are changing for all of us, first thing first, if you wish to make that as a great success, three important pointers would play the success factor. Point number one, the mindset of people. Youngsters these days are very, very in tune in terms of adopting this new ways and means of working. But if you are talking about something which is a change of culture or a change of transformation, then the leadership teams have to play the most important role. So come what may, if your leadership team is not aligned to the new ways and means of working, everything would be meaningless. So that is something we have to try and focus upon. And I come from a very strong manufacturing background. So there would be people who have spent in a company for many, many years, 10 years, 15 years, 25 years, and they haven't seen world beyond that company, beyond that sector also. Now, if you just tell them that this is something which is change happening, it's difficult for them. So first thing first, the mindset, which would play the most important role. Second aspect, I believe, is a strong, strong governance, what we do in the ecosystem. Because end of the day, besides mindset, the another important aspect is the capability. And when I talk about capability, are my people attuned to use a technology which is the forward looking? That is something which is the second part, the capability aspect. And third is the governance part. So these are the three success factors which would play and decide the future course of action when it comes to the digital part. I'll give you one small example before I close that piece. Since it's an experience for me as a professional for the last many, many years working in different organizations, this would be a slow and gradual change for all of us. And when I talk about a cultural change or a transformation change, it will take some time. Our job is to ensure that the speed of change has to be in tuned to the change happening across the world. And that is something we should try and focus upon moving forward. One example, at DCM Shriram Limited, I think we have a roadmap strategy for next 5 years, but we wish that every person on the ground should understand why this change is happening. And hence, a group of around 100 digital champions have been created. They have been equipped with the necessary skills. Now they are the one who are driving this entire piece in the respective areas and domains. For one thing, before I close, This will be a slow and gradual process for all of us. And it will not be a job of HR or one specific business leader. This would be something where everybody has to contribute to ensure we at least are in tune to the new ways of means of working moving forward. Thank you.
Very well articulated, Abhishek. Sachin. So, leadership should be aligned with the new ways of working, whether today is AI, tomorrow something else. And then capability building, there is no shortcut. We have to learn the new skills. And of course, the governance plays a very important role that should not go haywire. So, so that prompts me to understand more in detail from Abhishek that
Hello.
as Sachin spoke about AI reshapes the way organization design work and leadership and decision making. So CHRO need to position themselves as AI transformation leaders. So in this context, how do we redesign jobs to unlock greater human value rather than simply automate existing roles?
Yeah. Gunjanji, it's really nice to be a part of this panel. So, what I mean by AI transformation, it's not about reducing the work or it's not about just automations. It's about how routine work that humans are doing, repetitive work that humans are doing, that doesn't require such a great level of intelligence and that has a rule based decision making. How can we automate that and free up our team's time to focus on things that AI cannot do? So, how can we focus on items and activities that only humans can do, like complex problem solving? How about like how we can deal with more empathy with people? How we can build more human connections? And those are the items, those are the activities that we can really focus on, and that will ensure that humans are doing the work they are best at, and AI is doing the work it is best at. And it's not about like if so I we implemented Teslify, our product, in the one of the Series B company, and their recruitment time per recruiter, they are spending 16 to 24 hours per week. That has reduced to like 2 to 4 hours per week. So, what exactly to do with the rest of the time that was saved as a part of this implementation? And that's where they really repurposed the company called Capsule, which is based in United States, and they hire a lot of delivery workers using our product. So they identified that their recruiters' time should be going on building more human connections, really engaging with top finalist candidates, making the right decision, explaining them the culture about the organization, and that's how they have been more human, they have been more empathetic with the candidates they have applied, and that's how that whole transformation happens. Please have a seat. Okay, so I do think AI transformation is about driving efficiency, but it's not about reducing headcount. It's about repurposing our existing workforce to to activities that only human can do, and that is what CHROs can drive towards. And like every big transformation, whether it is computer transformation, industrialization, or now this is a AI era, so that is going to repurpose the jobs for us. So I am sure there would be job cuts in certain area. I'm sure that there would be less work in some areas, but it's organization's responsibility how how we should look at it, not just as a measure to reduce headcount, but how we can repurpose this workforce and internally mobilize the workforce to drive more value to the organization, and that would create more higher social impact. So that is my 2 cents on how we can drive AI transformation.
Thank you so much, Abhishek. And I can easily pick up a very important aspect from this conversation is the empathy. While AI is a new norm, we all know that, but how we are dealing with empathy, keeping human connection at the core, and ensure that we continue to grow and adapt new technologies, whatever comes in our way. And yes, the another important aspect, I picked up from this conversation is that AI is not taking away the jobs; it's improving our efficiency. So it's not about reducing the headcount, it's about how we make ourselves more efficient and effective while learning new skills and keep growing. So thank you so much, Abhishek. So as we spoke about the organization redesign, AI transformation, decision making, leadership, and the role of CHRO in all of these important aspects of it. So, looking ahead, what capabilities and mindset will define the next generation of HR leaders? We all are HR leaders. Many of us are working in the capacity of HR head, HR managers. And how can CHRO prepare their teams to leverage technology while preserving the empathy, collaboration, and culture that remains at the heart of great organization? So we would like to hear from Monica some real and practical experiences from her organization and from the industry she has been associated with.
Thank you, Gunjan. Thank you for having me here. And I'll share as many practical experiences that I have gained over my experience. Uh, when you are shoved into an era which is constantly changing, and I belong to an era where we didn't even have computers to work on, right? They had just been introduced in India. The one thing that has remained consistent and is becoming increasingly important is your knowledge of the business. It ain't going away. And the deeper knowledge you have of your business, the better equipped you will be to handle any changes that come on your plate. Because at the end of the day, as an HR leader, you are the change catalyst for the organization. You are the change driver for the organization. You are the keeper of people for the organization. You are the keeper of the ethics of the organization. So imagine in that complicated role, HR capabilities aside, the rest of the capabilities that are really important in a constantly changing world are your ability to adapt digitization. I think, and I can tell you that it took me time. I work for a startup where the speed of change is so fast that people say career path. I said, which career? Because everyday careers are changing. Org design is changing because today something new has come into the market. And for a startup, it's about livelihood and being there and relevant every day. It's not I'm an established organization and running. So it becomes even more important for the CHRO to be the ethics champion, to be the change champion, to be the business champion, and never give up empathy, which is, I think, one of the most important things that AI cannot take from you. AI aega, computer aega, anything else will come. The one thing that the HR should be very, very proud of and should never run away from is empathy and emotional intelligence. In fact, I tell my team, and I have an ex-team member sitting here, he'll tell you that I give this example to everybody in my team. Anyone can beat you at IQ. Koi to hoga who will have a IQ higher than you in the organization. Somebody will have a more knowledge of the business than you, right? No one should be higher on EQ and empathy than you. Because if you find someone in the organization with a higher EQ and empathy, probably you should find another job, not HR. I think that kind of sums up what I feel. Business knowledge and emotional quotient, which is extremely important. One thing, yes, financial acumen. So while understanding business, you also need to have financial acumen because HR से ही पूछा जाता है ROI बताओ. So many new initiatives you're bringing in, cost center हो. What is the ROI on this? I'm sure all of you have heard this from business. The only way to beat it is you have more knowledge of the business and financial acumen and everything else that you need to know. So you are really the general managers of the company.
Very powerful message, Monica, and I'm taking away the very important aspect that you mentioned, the deeper understanding of the organization. So we always hear the HR is a business partner. And now many of us are carrying a title as HR BP. So last month I was in a podcast and I highlighted one important point. Don't build your career, and this is for HR people, the entire HR fraternity, that don't build your career in HR, build your career in business through HR. So until unless we have a deeper understanding of the business, it would be very difficult for us to contribute in the business. And saying HR business partner probably would not justify as we are holding the position. And the another very powerful message which Monica mentioned is a higher EQ. If you have a higher EQ and low empathy, probably we need to think twice. What are we doing it? And empathy always goes hand in hand, no matter what technology will come in, no matter what skill we'll gain in, no matter how good we are in the business, our performance, EBITDA revenue, empathy should be there and should be at the core of the business. So, so I think we all are aware that technology is a new norm, but governance plays a very important role that we cannot leave behind. Our certain compliances. So, and we all are aware that new wage code has already been implemented. So, with new India's new labor code set to reshape employment practices. What changes should CHRO anticipate and how can HR technology enable seamless compliance while enhancing the employee experience? So let me start with Kulvinder, if you can share some experiences that how we can contribute to it as CHRO.
Thank you, Gunjan. Good morning, everyone. I think let's understand from a perspective that, though we all are looking at companies which are currently, not a brick and mortar companies, but when we look at brick and mortar companies and we look into large scale industries, still, there a lot of, labor reforms were required, wherein the government has introduced the code of wages as on November of 25, and they have brought in multiple changes there. I think very critical changes which has been brought in, which we as CHRO should be aware, which were not there earlier. One is the complete change in terms of how your retirement benefits are being paid. Because there has been a major change, it is no more a basic. The major change has been brought in terms of the wages. Now everything will be on wages. Your gratuity, your PF, your leave encashments, everything, if you have got superannuation funds, everything will be on wages. And there the wages definition has really moved very different. And I think when we were trying to implement it, we also took the help of the AI in terms of various softwares which are available. And we have used, a software, and therein we had put in across all employees, how their salaries, total remuneration gets changed. And I think that was very helpful for us. However, the critical changes in the labor codes which have been brought, one is the wages, the other one is from the industrial relation perspective. Earlier there were, for doing the ease of business, but the government has now introduced is if you are having 300 plus workmen, then only you have to take the permission of the government if you want to wind up your business. Earlier it was 100. So there is a massive change which has been brought in. Plus also service sector has been introduced in the new labor codes. Earlier service sector was out of this. That's why what was happening was You could see all the IT companies just, next day they were removed the employees. Now it will be very difficult for IT companies if they have 300 plus workmen to remove the people from the organization. They have to go through the process which is defined in the act. I think these are the two major critical changes when the government has brought in. There are other multiple changes which are there, but they were in existence. Also, in terms of compliances, where various, reports, various licenses people were to take, I think for the ease of business, government has converted into, one license and one work. That they have already implemented, and I think this is going to benefit the organization. Another one very important thing which they have brought in is the grievance redressal committees. Many people who would not be working into large industries, they may not be having an understanding of this, but this is very critical where now they have introduced this as a compulsory thing. You have to have grievance redressals, mechanism. And I think all these things, if we put into a software and through an AI, I think this will majorly help the organization in terms of as to where we are today and how do we move into next phases of implementing all the codes, all the labor codes. At the end of the day, we see that yes, we are helping the organization, and there is an employee experience which is coming through that. I think that's the thing which I would like to put. Thank you.
So thank you so much, Kulvinder. A great summary about new wage code. And I think this has been the talk of the town, that new wage code is coming. A lot of changes will come. And few companies have already started well a lot of time setting up their processes, making sure that when this will be enforced, then there'll not be any disturbance, disruptions in the organization. Yes, I think having a strong and structured governance and control keeps us stay abreast of the situation, potential issues, as well as keeping us away from any non-compliance, non-qualification from the authorities, departments, and then we'll have a seamless business at work. So, how many of us, I think we all are working in a hybrid environment. It's not that by policy we are hybrid, but yes, if there is a need for somebody to operate from home or to take some time off, so we all are open for that. That's how the organization are evolving, and they are structured in a more flexible way. So, and we have a distributed teams, people are operating from their respective locations where they don't have offices. And now with AI-powered workplaces, and it becomes a norm. So how can technology enable HR leaders, and this question to Vikas, how HR leaders to stay connected to employee productivity and engagement without compromising trust, autonomy, or the employee experience?
I think I find this question very, very interesting because as we are getting more and more Gen Z workforce, especially, the sectors which are manufacturing sectors, which are very, very time bound, very office operating, are also being challenged in terms of how we could build flexibility for the people that we are hiring in our sector. Now, if we look at flexibility, there are 2-3 components to it. And primarily, as we look at people, one is flexibility for people to go and help their family members as needed, because a lot of people have their parents, elderly parents, their children now to be taken care of by them. So I think that flexibility is one part. Other is work-based flexibility, that you could operate completely from a different location. So unfortunately, if you are in the manufacturing sector, it's very difficult for us to call out that you cannot operate from the floor, because you have to be there where the action is happening. Rather, what we are able to build is building flexibility for people to come in, and we recently saw that few of our plants in Pune, people, because of rains, people used to come late, and we could find flexibility in terms of their ability to reach the plant, right, in different spots. So that way their attendance is not getting hampered. They are also able to come and give those number of hours on the floor while we created that flexibility. That is one way. Other is looking at, how we could create more space for people within the work that they do. With the 8.5 hours shift, how you could create more space for people to move out and do some work which is different than what they are doing. We started this practice which has helped getting them across their leaders in small group and understanding what challenges or problems they are facing. So just a slight step out of their regular routine also breaks that monotony. And I'm talking of typically challenges in a manufacturing world, where you cannot offer all those benefits. Probably in corporate office you could, but when you talk of manufacturing, you need to behave in a norm, but still you can offer a flexibility for people to work around. I think talking of some of the leaves also, like moving from a standard leaves, asking people to go out for holidays, ensuring that people take break, rather than just transferring EL from year to year so that they could encash it during their retirement from the company. Ensuring that they are taking those leaves and they are able to take the time out from their work. These are some of the ways you could really manage to change the mindset of leaders and also give that flexibility to people to be able to perform.
No, I can resonate, Vikas, because I spend most of my career's time in manufacturing companies only. So flexibility is a conscious decision. So as long as it is in the best interest of the organization and business should not disrupt, an employee will have some kind of autonomy to operate to deliver the best result. I think it's the best solution as we can explore. And yes, different industries and companies have their different policies, but they are ensuring that their employees are happy, engaged, and they continue to perform and stay for a longer period in the company. That's how the entire ecosystem been created by HR function. So thank you so much, Vikas. So, so my next question to Hussain ji, so can technology become a catalyst for a stronger workplace culture? What practices are helping organizations use digital tools to empower employees while preserving their values and sense of belonging?
Good morning, everyone. Excuse me for my bad throat. Yeah, let me, all of you have, all the co-panelists have answered this question in some way or the other. But let me give a perspective. See, most of the legacy companies, as far as technology is concerned, they had their own norms and culture. So long back, I've been talking about almost more than 30 years back, when computers were given to people, it was only given to limited people. Computer was not private to everyone. Only senior management will have computer on their desktop. Then came laptop. And then the culture was that internet, when it came, it was not private to all. I mean, company would have a thinking that internet will be misused. Yeah. Right? So it will not be given to everyone. Similarly, there were many other issues that, printer will be given to somebody, not given to somebody. Companies had this kind of culture, especially legacy companies. But then when pandemic happened, that was the biggest shift. Now what happened, that the internet was required by everyone because everybody was working from home. So there is no restriction. Everybody had access, including outsourced third-party people, which was a big, big change, cultural shift, I would say. And I mean, I had seen how management reacted to, giving those things as if it is private to certain people. Now, that is one part. And similarly, the shift is that when we are talking about not only the computers or internet and things like that, which finally was given to them, one of the another shift that I saw, and I would like to quote, uh, I worked in Maruti for a long, long time. And we developed around 700-800 hours of high level content for our LMS. And that content was on the internal server, right? And it was used on a desktop or a laptop. Then the app came and still it was on the server. Now, thanks to pandemic, what has happened? Company was not willing to shift the IP or content or these things to a third party server or a cloud or something like that. It was a strict no-no because the culture was privacy. Culture was control. Now what happened? Pandemic shook everything. Now when everybody started using on app, the system crashed. It could not take load of 20, 30,000 people. And company had no choice but to shift to Amazon cloud. And then it became seamless. Now look at how situation builds the culture. Now, this is a mindset. You have the knack of controlling everything. You have the knack of having a lot of privacy. Everything is shattered. So technology is actually bringing that change in the culture, thinking, mindset. So it's not like that. So that has brought a very, very big change. And with AI also coming in now, I mean it's a big shift actually. I mean it's open to all. I mean you just can't control anything. So that's what one of the biggest change that I have seen, that these are things which is there in the public domain. You just can't control it. And that's the where the change is. Your workforce, your people, they are all empowered. They are all empowered. You cannot control. So that's what comes to my mind for your discussion. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Hussain ji. And he highlighted a very good perspective that change is only constant. So it is up to us. COVID is very good example. We were not aware that something of that sort would come in, and then our ways of working will change 360 degree. Where we were not used to operate from home, and especially in a manufacturing companies, work from home never been a word that we can operate remotely. The entire organization can be managed remotely, and especially the HR people. HR people, except in tech companies, I've not heard in manufacturing that they can operate, because it's been known that they are the people who should be in the office. So
in
it is up to
manufacturing, let me say, in manufacturing, other than shop floor or manufacturing, all operations, all areas, I mean, company adopted to work from home, and it is still continuing. In fact, with all kind of problems on the road, traffic, weather conditions, so company is willing to give many function which was never thought of. But this work-life balance, this flexibility is very much there. So now it's a norm. Hybrid is well settled and it's a norm.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I think AI, I've been hearing, and it's a talk of the town, that AI will take away entry-level jobs. But I think it is all about the mindset. So as long as we are able to adapt the new skills, we can train ourselves and we can continue growing in the organization. So AI will not take away the entry-level jobs. Rather, it will take the entry-level people to contribute in a more meaningful jobs than doing a regular, repetitive, administrative task. So take an example of, the new tools or new ways like Siri. How many of you are using Siri? ChatGPT. We all are using it. Did we have any kind of threat when we were asked to use Siri? No, because that was something which was, which was for convenience. So we embraced it. Now AI is coming in, we thought of it will take away our entry-level jobs. That's not the case. So the more we'll adapt the new changes, the better we would be in the system. So I think this very important topic, which I would like Rajesh to contribute to it, as we all are exploring AI in all our HR processes. So we are exploring opportunities, how we can make us more effective, how we can give a better employee experience. So from hiring and onboarding to learning, performance, employee experience, which stage of the employee life cycle has AI transformed the most? Where do you believe the next wave of innovation will emerge by 2030?
Thank you, Gunjan. You saved my life because the alarm has said the time is over.
We still have time.
You know, we are at this stage today. If we talk of transformation, so water transforms to ice, but it doesn't completely transform because there's some amount of water sticking to the cubes of ice. So this is what AI is doing to us HR people. Frankly speaking, HR in last 10, 15 years, and me included, we had forgotten the human part of that, and we were more focusing on resource part of it. हम एचआर वालों का काम ये हो गया था, हमने ह्यूमंस को रिसोर्स समझना शुरू कर दिया था. अभी AI is giving us that opportunity to turn people like us who said we are human resources officers. Now AI is giving us opportunity to become human relations officers. I proudly call myself a human relation officer. I'll give you an example, small example, practical. Why this audience or you people are here? You got the brochure given by Synnex long back. You could have put all those topics written there in AI and got your answer. You need not come here. Synnex did not need us. They would have given us the question, we would have put in AI and sent it back to them. And with my signatures, they have circulated online to you. You are here because human interaction is important. We are here because AI will not give us all that which my experience or my knowledge will give you. AI can teach you how to drive a car, but ultimately you have to drive it. I'll give you a small example. I was facilitating a workshop in Chennai for the past 3 days, and I wanted to impress the audience because they were all Tamil. So I put one prompt in AI, said, I want to translate in Tamil and I want to start my address in Tamil saying, we are very happy to have you here. And he gave me an English script of Tamil. And I rehearsed it. But thankfully, I asked my local colleagues in Chennai and I narrated that and they started laughing. He said, what do you mean? I said, I wanted to say that we are happy to have you here. He says, this means please get out. Please? Get out. And then they taught me how exactly to say in Tamil that we are happy to. So sometimes this chat GPT or your AI is going to create a problem for you. So what I feel, AI, and we are using it accordingly in our company, and I'll give you 2-3 examples before I close. AI, to my mind, is your young management trainee, your young intern, who knows much more than you, who is hands on the latest technology. He has much more energy than you. But if you don't guide him properly, he will take you a different path. You have to use AI as your management intern to get best results. I have a friend, a colleague and a friend. She's working as a director HR in one of the organizations in Noida, and it is ITS. Very interesting, Hussain Saab. This lady was looking for a job. She created her CV. And this CV, her nephew and his friend, Gen Z, they saw that CV. They said, Bhua, ये CV तो आपका select भी नहीं होगा. It has to be ATS compliant. Applicant tracking system. And these two Gen Z guys took 45 minutes to transform her CV so that it is ATS compliant. And she said, Rajesh, I was splitting my hair. Bhua was splitting her hair because she said, this is not me. मेरा CV तो select हो जाएगा, but if they ask me questions, I can't answer this because this is not me. What these guys have done it. So young management trainee then take you in different directions. How AI will help you? What I have done is in our company, and we are still on that journey. We are a sales organization. First, 3 years ago, we put everything on Excel and asked my IT guys to do it. Last 3 years of data, which location, which branch, which SKU. Study the entire data. Today I'm sitting on 13th of August. By 13th of August, if in this particular branch, this fellow has sold this SKU only on 30th of August, what will his be target achievement level? How much incentive he would earn? Which are the areas which he has faltered? And that threw up entire data. Today, I am using now bots. I can exactly tell on 3rd of any month where will we finish this month if we don't do this tick, 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 tick. I said we are human relations officers because AI has taken away all our administration jobs. They will select the CV, they will do everything. Ultimately, I have to interact with the candidate to finalize. Learning has become like your Netflix. Netflix recommends you what you want. It is not spray and pray that the organization or VHR people are organizing a training for everybody. Today, everybody has a different learning path. Similarly, your human relations today, my administration has gone away. I can spend more time on coaching. I can more time on talent management. I can give more time on succession planning and attrition planning and all that. So this is how we need to use AI. And I will close by this sentence. AI is not going to replace anybody. It's not going to replace anybody. Yes, that HR wala will get replaced who doesn't know how to use AI. Thank you.
Very powerful message, Rajesh, and I personally like it, the transition from resources to relation. And this is the key message I think we all should take away. And AI is a young intern management. The way Rajesh explained, I think this is something which is the reality. We don't take it as a master, we should take it as an intern and learn all along the way. So without taking too long, I may ask if you want one question, one to start with, Abhishek, one AI tool every HR leader should try this year.
Me?
Yeah.
I'm going to be biased, but it's Teslify. And definitely Teslify transforms skill-first hiring and video interviewing. So definitely my product. Yeah.
All right, all right. And in one word, how would you describe the growing influence of HR tech on the future of work, Sachin? How would you describe the growing influence of HR tech on the future of work?
Absolutely. I think it's going to be multifold. The way Rajesh also explained, if it doesn't happen, I think we all become obsolete, and therefore adoption would play the most important
So
role.
adoption is the one word you would like to say. Okay, very well. So, and which organization other than your own, Rajesh, do you believe is setting the benchmark for AI-driven HR transformation?
Very difficult to say because again I'll have to put this answer in ChatGPT to get the answer. But if I say one word, what I said, the answer is it's in itself artificial intelligence. Please remember it is artificial. It is not intelligent as you are.
Thank you so much, Rajesh, and thank you to the panelists for your contribution. And I think a lot of takeaways from this panel, from these HR legends, that we are talking about AI, we are talking about our change in the rules, adoption, empathy, change in the culture, transformation. So I think I can't wait to hear from the audience for questions. Would be happy to contribute to your journey.
Ma'am, actually, we are running really late.
So let us catch up at least one or two questions, and then probably we'll take notes for other questions.
Okay. A very quick.
So any question, just
very
please
quick
hands
session.
up.
Any quick questions? Anybody?
You can hands up if you have any question.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think we'll take up your questions. We are here throughout the day. We'll catch up over tea, coffee.
Yes.
Thank you so much for everyone coming here, listening us, and then we'll exchange our ideas throughout the day. Thank you.
First of all, I would like to say, first of all, extremely sorry that these small little things happen, nuances happens in between. But the schedule and everything sometimes mismatches. We love hearing you out, and especially, ma'am, there's a compliment for you. Your voice is really good. So, a big round of applause for moderator and panelists. And to felicitate them, I would like to invite Mr. Mayank Tiwari, Head Sales from Widespread HR. Please come on stage. And let's begin the felicitation ceremony, starting with Mr. Kulvinder Sarao, CHO and President from Human Engagement, Panacea Biotec. With each one, we'll be capturing an individual picture. Next is Mr. Mussarat Hussain, Head HR, Suzuki, R&D Center, India. Ms. Monica Mudgal, CHRO, Health Card. Mr. Vikas K. Koka, CHRO, Sharda Motor Industries. Next is Mr. Sachin Kashta, CHRO, DCM, Shri Ram Sugar. Mr. Rajesh Tara, VPHR, Usha International. Mr. Abhishek Shah, the founder from Testify. And now last but not the least, the moderator for this wonderful panel session, Ms. Gunjan Jain, CHRO, Jindal Strategic Ventures. A huge round of applause, guys. It was a wonderful, very, very insightful discussion, filled session. So thank you, and thank you so much.